Page 204. Okay, we're discussing the various reasons why Olam Haba, heaven, the next world, is not mentioned in the Torah. So we are on reason number 4. Umehem shegmul ha'olam haba ein adam ro'elo b'masehu hatov bilvad. A person does not merit to get Olam Haba only by his good deeds. Meaning, we're going to see, in order for a person to get Olam Haba, he has to do other things besides just good deeds and keeping the mitzvahs. So that's why the Torah doesn't say, quote, Achia roi min ha'elokim b'shnei dvarim achar ha'maisa hatov. He needs two things besides good deeds to get into Olam Haba. Ha'echad, the first. Shior b'nei adam avodas sabor yisrael. You have to teach other people about the service of Hashem. You have to teach people. V'anhigem lasos hatov, and guide them to do the right thing. Kamoshe Kasav, like it says, umatzdige harabim kakochavim la'olam v'ed. Those that teach righteousness, or matzik the rabbim, they will shine like stars forever and ever. The Amar, it says, v'lamochichem yinam v'aleihem tavo birchas toiv. Those that rebuke others, it will be good for them, and blessing will come upon them. V'ka'asher yiskabetz lamishtadel gemul Hitzdakaso al gemul tzidkaso u gemul emunas libo v'sivlo yaroy l'gemul olam haba eitzel haboris. So when a person does that, and he teaches others, and he says he accepts suffering for Hashem's sake, then he'll be fit, he'll be ready for Olam Haba. So we're saying, to get Olam Haba, the next world, not only does a person have to keep the mitzvos, but he has to teach others about the mitzvos, and he also has to be mochiach, has to rebuke others. That's always a very delicate thing, how to rebuke others, but we tend to be very careful when trying to correct people. But there's ways to do it in an intelligent way. Just don't be a jerk when you do it. Say it in a nice way. Oh, I think maybe you're supposed to do it like this, X, Y, Z. Or if you don't want to do it, tell the person's rabbi. But the idea is that not only us as individuals do we serve Hashem to get into Olam Haba, but we need to teach others. And he brings on the bottom here. He brings on the bottom from Ravitzel Petterberger. What is the reason for this? Why isn't doing mitzvos sufficient to get into Olam Haba? So he says there's one avera that only death atones for. One avera. You know what that is? Only one avera. One serious avera.
The original sin.
What?
The original sin.
That one. Oh, that. Chil Hashem, right. Chil Hashem. Very good. Hearing the speech. Wow, you go to a good yeshiva. Yeah, a person desecrates Hashem's name. He does something that makes another person say, "Oh, this is how God's people act. I don't want anything to do with that." That's a Chil Hashem. When a person does that, only death is mechaper, atones for such a sin. It's a very serious sin. So Rav Yitzchak Petterberger says, on the other hand, the way. So how do you do that? How do you undo that? You make a Chil Hashem. So the answer is you make a Kiddush Hashem. You have to sanctify God's name. One way of sanctifying Hashem's name, he says, is by teaching others the ways of Torah. So that is how you undo any Chil Hashem that a person might have made in his life, and can merit Olam Haba, the next world. Okay, so that's one thing that in addition to keeping the mitzvahs, we're saying the first thing a person needs to get Olam Haba is to teach others to do Torah. Okay, v'hasheni, the second, Chesed me'elokim u'nadav v'tova. Why doesn't it say, what is the other thing we need to get into Olam Haba? Kama shekasav u'lecha Hashem chesed ki atat eshalom le'ish b'maasehu. It says the only reason that we get Olam Haba is because of the kindness of Hashem. Meaning, even after we do all the good deeds, we only get it because Hashem is kind to us. He's going to explain. Va'ila bazeh, the reason for this, ki im haya ma'aseh adam kechol hayam b'mizbar. Even if you did in your lifetime as many mitzvahs as are the sands in the ocean, on the beach, lo yeshakol b'tova achas min tovas abori yizbarach alav olam hazeh. It will not be equal to even one of the goodnesses that Hashem does for us in this world. Kol shechen, all the more so, im yalochet, if a person sins. V'im yedaktik habore im ha'adam b'tvias hodaz ha'teva, yeh kol maseh nichad v'nishka b'ktana sheb'tovas habore alav. If Hashem would be very strict and say, okay, I've done this many good things for so-and-so, and he's done this many mitzvos, it wouldn't measure up, and the person wouldn't deserve Olam Haba. So the only reason a person get Olam Haba is because of Hashem's kindness. really we don't deserve anything, any reward. The fact, if we think about all the kindness that Hashem does for us on a daily basis, forget that, even before that, the fact that we exist, that we are beings that are here in this world, that's just the kindness of Hashem starting out. Just that we exist. That already is worth an infinite amount, that we could be here. And then that we could breathe, see, hear, walk. Especially nowadays we live in a relatively affluent society. We have shelter, we have food, and you just keep going down the list. We have friends, we have a shiur Sunday morning, we have a shul, we have davening, right? A million things. Even if we did all the mitzvahs like he's saying in the Torah our entire lives, we would not measure up and would not technically, according to the strict letter of the law, we wouldn't deserve Olam Haba. It's only because of the kindness of Hashem that we really deserve Olam Haba. Just as a recommendation, if you want to appreciate Hashem and you think about the kindness, just go to Route 36, there's a bridge over the Shrewsbury River, and you could see, you get a huge view of the ocean, and I went to the Hebron on Friday, and you see the Shrewsbury River, you see Sandy Hook, you see Manhattan in the distance, you see Brooklyn, and you see how big everything is. And it's kind of it's like awe-inspiring. And then you think about Hashem. Hashem can't even compare it to that. Hashem made all that, and you just think of the kindness. First of all, Hashem gave us such a beautiful world. Just take a second and smell the roses. It's very, very, very powerful and could help us really experience this idea. Ha'onesh b'shnei ha'olamim. ובאמס ובדין וכל ושחי בו האדם אלא שחסד הבור יסגבר עליו בשני העולמים כמו שכתוב לך השם חסד והוא רחם יכפר עוון ולא ישחית. This is really he says in addition, if a person does averas, he really deserves to get punished from Hashem. However, sometimes it seems, I don't know how this works with saying that Hashem's not a vatran, but he says that a person in the next world, Hashem might not actually punish the person in the next world for the deeds that he does, for certain deeds that he does, he says. So how that works with Hashem not being a vatran, you have to, but it says, we say it every day. He says, the merciful one is forgiving of sin and does not destroy. Okay, so that's the fourth reason. Again, the fourth reason that the reward for Olam Haba is not mentioned in the Torah is because one, if we just do it, we need the answer is because we need other things to get into Olam Haba. The first thing that we need to get into Olam Haba is that we have to teach Torah, we have to make a Kiddush Hashem, and the second thing is we only get Olam Haba because of the kindness of Hashem, because really we don't deserve anything. Once what Hashem did for us, the fact that we exist, already we're in debt to Hashem, and we could do all the mitzvahs in the world, and we don't deserve it. So it's because of the kindness of Hashem, and then he adds here at the bottom that it could be that the certain averas that we do, Hashem may overlook them in the Olam Haba. Okay.